Hey, how you doing? I'm trying to like get the vibe right because I actually had something really, really exciting to share. Hoping this quality give something. I really want my food and I really want my tea. Hey, Miss Girl. Hey.
Hey, Joan. You've been to these
Oh, not Joan.
musical festival thingies before, right?
Uh-oh, your show was on.
Sinbad Music Festival. Because Yvonne's going. Just have these images of her in my head shaking her ass. It's a whole lot of ass to be shaking.
Oh.
Isn't it the same?
You know, I hate to act like that I'm better than anybody, but your girl got a fly trap. Yeah, Zevo. You might want to get you one. Real quick. Is this the vibe? This is not the vibe. It can be a little bit more exciting. Let's see if we can get into... I'm gonna give y'all some neo soul lo-fi. So, let me see. Hey. Hope that's not too loud. But y'all, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. For one, let me just give y'all a breakdown. For one, I have been basically tested in a sense, like it's time for me to make some changes internally. I'm always just seeking after what God has in store for me, right? And so one of the ways that like I have been tested, should I start the fire? Because it's getting dark. I have been tested by a little bit. Thank y'all so much for joining the live. But the best that I can do from this moment forward is just to kind of like speak my truth and just be authentically me. And it's so interesting like how you go about being yourself authentically and how things like just fall into place. Let the chips fall as they may, because like when you really submit to the will of God and you really take a look at things, you'll get to this point in life where you'll see things as being like, okay, I predicted that. I knew that was going to happen. I knew that this was going to happen. I knew that they was going to show up like this. I knew that this was going to happen. And to the point where it does not. It's right before that moment that bitterness kind of like sneaks in. And it's before that moment where ego gets to take the situation. And so I say take because we know that the enemy comes to, you know, steal, kill, and destroy. And I have always said to myself, every L that I take is a blessing, is a lesson. And so when I got the opportunity today to have the Lord speak to me in such a way that you don't let the sun go down on your wrath and on your anger. And there has been like some things that have been really like tearing me up inside. And I have laid down night after night, not even understanding or knowing why. And then today, I don't even express how the way I have been feeling over the situation, because it was hindsight. How much of it did it really matter? How much of my ego came to steal the lesson in this thing? And we're letting the chips fall as they may, is because what you are already feeling upset when you're already feeling like, oh my gosh, what happened? It could have been this, or it could have been like a different outcome, or it could have been this, or it could have went this way. And when other people are like getting involved, things kind of circulate. And so there comes the humility in that thing. And I say humility as to speak to humanity, and us having to take ourselves down off of the pedestal without shrinking ourselves. So you can definitely still show up the same size that you've always been when you do feel like you have been scathed or slighted. And it's all in a matter of just getting the thing out, just expressing yourself. Like, God has really been just like on me, because y'all, when I tell you I've learned just a different way to communicate, and of course, younger Jasmine, older Jasmine, they're gonna always bump heads, because when you don't know no better and you are younger, sometimes we can get a little bit more riled up. But the way that I argue, so to speak now, because I don't even like to argue. Like, I'm not about to argue and get puffed up for what, when it's going to take away from the understanding, when it's going to take away from the solution, when it's going to take away my time and my energy. And so I've learned to really rely on the Lord right in the present moment. And I've been tested several times today. Even before I left the house, I was tested with my own ways, tested with my own frequency about what I wanted to do, how I was supposed to show up in the world, and how I was dimming my own light. How important is it to make sure that you are safeguarding yourself from situations? Because truth be told, we don't always need a miracle. We don't always need to be praying to God for a blessing. Y'all, when I got fired from my job that I just recently had, I was like, the ego came in so quick to try to steal the moment, because my first thing was asking why. I knew why. She going, bro, she talking to herself. I'm talking to you. Ain't you out here? Hey, hello, Mom from Akron, Ohio. You listening? I'm talking to you. So, ain't that alive, right? No, we don't talk in front of a camera in an empty room sometimes. Oh, silly rabbit. But howsoever, just ways that you get tested, things like that. So we just gotta learn to, I don't know you, Mom. We just gotta learn to look at ourselves in a better lens, look at ourselves in a higher perspective, and understand and be able to identify what is a distraction and how things serve. And before I get too off track, but how the enemy tried to come in and steal that moment by me asking why, when I had the clear signs several times before. So I'm on the floor just, oh my gosh, I don't know, I don't understand. Why God? And I just really could feel God like, girl, get up. Girl. Like, for real, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, God, please. Thumbs up if you can hear me. But I was like, God, please just so if you don't want to listen, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to block you, because I don't think you came here for the right reason, and I don't want to get distracted by acknowledging what you have to say if it's not purposeful. So yeah, I'm sorry, I don't want to have to block you. So I don't know, did you just join the live? I was talking about a story about when I was fired from my job. So I'm pounding on the floor. I'm like, God, please, please, just help me, like, you know. And I can literally hear God's voice just telling me, like, girl, get up. Like, you're like, for real. If God was, that would have been his face, like, this child. So instantly I got up off the floor and I was just like, for real, I didn't want to do all of that. Because it was really just the ego that got puffed up and riled up in the situation. And and that was just a maladaptive behavior pattern. That was the way that I've always shown up, when in actuality that's not who I am now. That's not who I am in this present moment. And so I say, the more that you gain, like, the intimacy within yourself, it clears off so much noise. The more that you are seeking peace for the right reasons, because when you start off in your journey of seeking peace, it is going to be in a puffed up kind of sense. It is going to show up like, I don't need this, I'm better than them, I don't have time for this, I'm too good for this. It is going to show up like that, but that is where we give grace to ourselves as humans to go through the motions. And so I really just had to take a step and acknowledge the different levels to everything. And God has really just shown me and allow for me to hear a lot of the noise when I am not seeking my peace, when I am not going through things within myself. And so I just want to share with you all. I bought this book. Now I got mine off of Amazon, but it's a double pack. And I heard about, like, I guess Dochi or somebody. Yeah, I think it was Dochi. She said that she has studied this book, but I heard about her story from a creator on TikTok, and crap, I can't remember her name. She writes music, she has a podcast, she does so many different things. Once I'm able to maybe clip, like, this live or something, I'll definitely tag her. But I was so excited to get this today and to sit down with myself and just to go through it. First page, it says, no matter what age of your life, it says, no matter what age or your life path, whether making art is your career or your hobby or your dream, it is not too late or too egotistical or too selfish or too silly to work on your creativity. And so as I'm seeking more peace within myself, I'm definitely like, I have all this space and all this opportunity to be creative again, to kind of have, like, this childlike faith within myself, to trust myself more, to lean into what God has already blessed me with. And that right there, like, that have been the main thing. Ask and you pray for more, but when and how are you able to work your tool and put the work over and the covering over what it is that you already got? Are you really willing to work with what you got to get what you want? Are you? And there's so many things that I love to do. There's so many things that I love about myself. So you have to be willing to seek your peace, so that way you can go after and you can attain all the things that you set your mind and your heart to. And finding that intimacy is going to help you be more clear. It's going to help you make better decisions. It's going to help you protect yourself, guard your heart in a way that you have never done before. In a way, all the ways that you look for other people to do it for you, you're going to do it for yourself, and then it's just going to radiate out. And therefore, other people will know and understand how to handle you properly. Okay? I I'ma just do this. Hello. Cause I'm like, I don't really know exactly. I thank y'all so much for joining this live. But yeah, I just been taking steps in, so that way I can just be better aligned with all the things that's good and all the things that are on the frequency, if not on my frequency, but all the things that are meant for me. We've gotten brave enough to try recovery, but we don't want the universe to really pay attention. Ooh. Oh my God. Okay. This is the morning journal. Oh my God. Sometimes we be praying for like a payment. We be praying for a payment, and God be like, "Here go your reality check." That's a whole bar from Lil Wayne. But yes. Like if I need to. God has blessed me with a season to be softer. Like I said, very much so, like not if I got to take it there with myself, but prideful. Sometimes a little bit angry, unhinged, but to be proud of that. And I'm taking away every single day that I'm acting into this energy. I'm withdrawing from myself, from my truest self, because I don't want the world to see me for real. Because if I have to be vulnerable, that's too much like something is being taken and stolen away from me. So God blessed me with this season of my life to have become softer. Now this was before soft girl era. So who ain't a strong black woman? I'm a strong black, and before we was beating our chest talking about we were strong black men. Just so out of frequency, out of that season. And I'm just like, oh man, I don't know what's going on, but it's almost like everything hurt. Every little thing was hurting for some reason. Being softer, it made me realize like who was more abrasive, who was authentically mishandling me, just because I was so used to having things given to me in a very harsh and hard way. It made me realize like, oh, a lot of things ain't really aligned with the person that I am trying to show up as and who I am trying to be. It wasn't aligned. So I had to get real with myself, like, this ain't working out. And it was tough at first because I felt like nobody understood. I felt like a lot of people was like, I mean, if I'm coming out of that era of being hard and strong all the time, when people say, oh, you're too sensitive, then especially like some years ago, and just emotional intelligence that we did not have during that time period, a lot of people did not understand the true severity of saying that someone was too sensitive, because instantly you internalize that as there is something wrong with me, rather than getting down to the root of the issue. And truth be told, y'all, a lot of people say that you're too sensitive and they are not aware. They're not emotionally cognizant. They don't have any understanding of what it is that they do in the moment. They don't. And so that's why the word go back to forgive them, for they know not what they do. Because you can't internalize that what someone else is projecting on you. And it do hurt. You have to take it with a grain of salt and say, hey, I'm showing up as I am today. Like, it was back to back, y'all. When I really submitted to being softer in this season, only thing that I got to say is God's word now. Like, that's all that I got to say. I can't really say nothing else. Like, if that's just what it's gonna be, then, you know, like, Don't turn into a pillar of salt. Like, how you want me to fight or argue with you? Because I can't do. I don't have it in me no more. I don't have it in me no more. We both know the God's honest truth. But when you submit to your peace, you are honestly like, and you don't even digest. You don't even ingest the things that are happening to you as offense. You take the things, you don't even take it in as something that's happening to you. Yes, protecting your peace, ways and layers that we are protecting our peace. And just what the day hit me with so much. Like, God started in on me bright and early this morning, and I mean, chin checked me immediately. How are you expecting for a result or a change and you ain't putting no work in? You blocked everybody. Don't nobody even know what don't nobody even know what you're thinking. But the ego come and the ego rob you, for real, of the experience. And you get so puffed up and so riled up and you say, oh good, they don't got access to me. I'm too good. I wish I would entertain something like that. When truth be told, you really could lean in and submit to how your most intimate self is feeling. And you can say, hey, that hurt my feelings when you did that. Hey, I don't really appreciate, or even, hey, how you showing up is not a good look. Because we both know that you got things to lose. It's that simple. Solutions. Solutions. And we are seeking our peace in that sense. So I just wanted to share that with you. Like, how can we navigate this? How can we navigate the ship? And with more peace, we get more time, more efforts, more energy into the things that are actually for us. I feel like the world try to distract us so much from our most intimate self. And that's no secret, right? But when you allow for the world to distract you from your most intimate self, it robs you. It robs you of your joy. It robs you of your most authentic self. So you have to make sure that you are doing any and everything by all means necessary to protect that. If you know that you are serving into an ecosystem and your goal is abundance, that's all that you got to hold on to, but you know that this serves into a higher purpose, let's just make it surface level. If you know that your house is not in order, it's a trickle down effect. It's not rocket science at the end of the day. All of these bad, negative behavior patterns, and I'm gonna be real with y'all. I know how to chase somebody away. I do. And I used to pride myself on that because I felt like I was guarding myself. I was guarding my heart. So that way I could sit back and be like, yep, I knew that person wasn't right. But what happens when you agitate a situation and you don't expect to get shooken up? Do not let the ego come and rob you of your experience. Don't do it. Don't do it. So I love y'all so much. But this is a new year. This is a new dawn, a new day. We're gonna sow more into our gifts, y'all. We're gonna clear out space so that way we can sow into our gifts, so that way we can serve into our most highest and most authentic self. Because I'm telling you, God wants so much more for you. He do. And I've been hearing that message for everybody that I'm connected to and myself. That don't mean, okay, you can isolate yourself from everybody because you know that you coming up next. We all got next. If we being real, if we being honest, but what are you going to do with your time? Are you going to regurgitate every single day the past? Are you gonna let yourself turn into a pillar of salt because you keep thinking back to whatever offended, whatever hurt you? So I'm all talked out. I'm all sold out. I love y'all so much. I want y'all to make a focused decision with clarity, open-mindedness. Please, 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 if you don't do nothing else, like right now, like tonight, make a list. Make a list of your goals, your aspirations. I don't care how silly it get. I don't care if you write down, okay, well, at 3 years old, I did want to become an astronaut. This day and age, I don't get too much into the news, but I heard Gail King went to, like, girl, what did, okay, whatever. But nothing is off limits. And this year, we're not leaving nothing on the table. So I'm gonna check in with y'all. You know what? I'm gonna check in every day, and I'm gonna just let y'all know how this book. I'm not gonna give y'all too much out of the book because I want y'all to have your own experience, and you know, just your own thing. So I will bring it back for myself because it just has to make sense for me that way. Just focus more on God and what God is really leaning into. But if I do feel led to share, you know, certain things, that's not off limits. But please make a list. Make a list of your goals. Make a list of your crazy random dreams. And over the course of the next 30 days, literally any random thought that you get. I don't care if you say, I want a bag of Lay's chips. Be specific though. Watch how God bless you with that thing. You don't have to want for anything. You don't even have to have the resources there, because this is what we're seeing with our physical eyes. But what is unloading, what is unpacking for you in the spiritual realm, what God is doing for you. Hey, what God is doing for you is He's unloading your destiny. When we blindside ourselves because we have these patterns of making the wrong decisions, it's embedded in us. Like, I wish that I had the scripture right off the bat, but it says in the Bible, for I do the things that I don't want to do. And the things that I do want to do, it seems like those are so far away from me. It says that. And so you have to lean into yourself with authentic peace, seeking peace, authentic, just seeking the love for yourself. No, that's not selfish. If you can't be at certain places, you probably need to listen. I know I just learned the hard way. I was just telling a lie. I just had a little, well, it was an altercation for the other person. It wasn't no altercation for me. It wasn't, you know, but in my faithfulness with seeking peace, it's kept me balanced in such a natural way, which is amazing. In such a natural way, I couldn't ask for like a better mindset at this time. And how things happen back to back to back. So also with gaining peace, gaining clarity, trusting the way that you manifest things, you're going to hear a voice that's going to start to guide you. And it is like a whisper, but this voice is going to start telling you, don't go there. Don't do that. No. Don't you just want to go home? I had that voice nudge me a few times. And when you clear out the space for peace, you start to be more conscious. Consciousness, it comes to you like before I turned on the street, before going to this place, I noticed that there was, first of all, I noticed how the way I was feeling. And this went on for a process of hours on hours. Right before I was about to turn on the street had a detour. I said, if I just keep, and I actually turned the other way. But with the power of free will, there was an empty parking space. And I just so happened to have exact change of getting into the function that I was going to in the first place. But I said to myself, I had no more cash after this. So do I want to go to this place? Or do I just want to take my cash and my dinner that my mom made me and just take myself on home? Free will. But don't ignore the voice. You got an ear, let them hear. Okay? You got eyes and vision, you gotta see. You gotta see, but don't cut it off. Because it don't serve you when you cut it off. Yet God's beautiful grace, y'all, is so permissible to unlocking and unleashing and saying, not, yeah, I told you so, but it unleashes confirmation that you're going to be all right. Don't get too hard on yourself. I don't know who this is for, but it's not too late. It's not too late for your dreams or your vision. God is just going to, hey, if you want to take that detour, even though this part over here says detour, but if you want to take that detour to get somewhere that I'm blocking you off from, you're detouring your destiny. While I set up this detour in the physical, the other routes that you choose, you are going to pay with a cost. Sometimes it might seem like a very small cost, but it's going to cost you your dignity. It's going to cost you your integrity, your self-love, your self-awareness. It's going to cost you all of that. And that's a trickle-down effect to the ecosystem. So we got to attain and gain more peace and clarity in that sense. Take your power back. Seek your energy back. So that way you can attain peace. And when you get those pockets of peace, you hold on to them. Because that way you build up, ooh, this tastes good. It starts to become more palatable for you. And you start to crave it more. And then you end up here in front of the artist way. I got this off of Amazon along with this. It came in a 2-pack bundle. But I'm declaring my peace so that way I can have opportunities, more opportunities to create. If you're not fruitful, then what you doing? Because if you're so quick to serve into things that's going to perish, who are we raising up? The ecosystem or self? So you have to be willing to, I don't know if I can say it, but DIE unto self. You have to be willing. I love y'all so much. Like I said, I want you to make a list. I don't care how ridiculous it might sound. Make a list of all your goals, all the things that you've ever wanted to do in life. And I promise you, nothing is off limits. It's just about your belief system. It's just about how are you distracting yourself with all of these outside things that are not serving. I want y'all, if y'all can, to purchase this book, because I just kind of opened one page and kind of see. Yeah, so this gonna gather me. I like that. I like the some of the reads from this. This is gonna gather me. But I love y'all so much. I love y'all so much, and I feel like I just needed to hop on here and share with y'all. None of this stuff is for no reason, y'all. None of this stuff is happenstance. When you know something in your gut, you have to honor that. But before you go about honoring it in your fleshy, selfish tendency, see what God, seek God, see what God is doing. And the first way that you do that is by seeking God's peace over that thing. So even if you gotta sit still for a while, and I have sat still, y'all, I done sat so still that I done forgot. But one day, y'all, I'm telling you, the way that things just happen, the way that God fight on your behalf when you just sit still, oh my gosh, like I'm laughing because I'm just like, dang, like people will probably be like, dang, like she is really like funny acting, or dang, like she really did that, or like, no, I didn't. That's the way that it happened. But I feel though, you know, the energy, you can always feel energy behind a thing. They know that was God's doing. Cause me, oh, fleshy, egotistical, would have puffed up and started yelling. I would have cussed you out. Okay? No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm going to just sit back and I'm going to just let God do it. Because if I do it. But I love y'all. I'm starting to get sleepy. My eyes are like. So I love y'all so much. And yeah, y'all just stay hydrated, stay blessed. Make sure y'all write that list out. If y'all can, purchase these 2 books. We will be talking about more books here. I'm gonna check in with y'all every single day until I finish this. I am gonna try to attach another habit onto this as well. So I want to see how that works out for me. But we're just attaining like a different level of self-love and self-awareness in this season, and I have strong confidence that it's gonna work out. It's all gonna work out in a way unimaginable for us all. We just gotta be willing to put the work in. I love y'all. Stay hydrated, stay blessed. I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.